What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. So look, y'all, I was watching the Pivot Podcast, Ed Reed's interview on the podcast. For those who don't know, the Pivot Podcast is made up of three former football players, Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark, and also Fred Taylor. And they do a great job at facilitating dialogue, man. Having a conversation and asking questions that the people want to hear, but at the same time approaching it respectfully and getting the person that they're interviewing, the interviewee, to just reveal a lot of information that the public would want to know in a way where it's not like overly aggressive. They're not overly aggressive to get the answers, right? And so they're sitting down and talking with Hall of Famer Ed Reed, greatest safety to ever live. They're talking to Ed Reed about the time when he was the leading candidate to be the coach for the Bethune-Cookman University football team, right? Bethune-Cookman is a HBCU in Florida. Is Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach? Let me look it up. Let me see. Bethune-Cookman, yeah, in Daytona Beach, right? And so he starts speaking about the fact that before he was in the running for BCU, not before, but he was saying that he was almost the head coach for Jackson State. And he was recommended by Deion Sanders himself. Coach Prime recommended him to come to that job, right? And he talked about sitting down with Ashley Robinson, who is the Jackson State University athletic director, also an alum of my alma mater, Mississippi Valley State University. But anyway, when I heard him talk about Prime recommended him for the job, I heard him say that before, right? But he said it again and said he sat down with Ashley Robinson and whatever. So I'm like, this is a real thing, right? And when I heard that, all I could think about is all the people, I had to dispel this narrative. All the people were talking about when people discussed Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State, when people was like, yo, I feel like he should have stayed, et cetera, et cetera. And I told y'all he could do whatever he wanted to do. I just didn't like the way he did things when he left, right? I didn't like the way it was carried out. But a lot of people were like, yo, he should have stayed at Jackson State, stayed at the HBCU. A lot of Coach Prime's biggest supporters say, well, the HBCU did Coach Prime wrong. They did him dirty. They stole money from him. They were stealing from the kids. They were stealing and breaking into his stuff. The HBCU itself stole money from Coach Prime. They stole money with the attendance and all of that. They gypped him and all that type of stuff. First of all, Jackson State came out a while as soon as they heard that and dispelled that rumor. They said Prime was given everything he was owed. Okay. Did he put money into the facilities himself, into the athletic, into the locker room and all of that? Yes, he wanted to add amenities that he wanted for the team, right? But they didn't cheat him out of any attendance money or nothing like that. When he was on the Earn Your Leisure podcast, he was given a hypothetical. People took that clip and that snippet and tried to make it seem like Jackson State was robbing him, which was furthest thing from the truth. And Jackson State strongly denied that. And as much as Coach Prime liked to talk, as much as he liked to come out and get in the camera, you think he wouldn't have called Jackson State out and called him a liar if they really stole from him? If Jackson State came out and said they never stole anything and Deion was given everything he was owed. If that was a lie, if that was false information, do you think Coach Prime would sit back and let that rumor fester? Hell no. His personality is he's loud and he'll stand right in front of the camera and he'll be all in with his persona. He'll put it all on display and do it in a way where he will strongly deny that. He will strongly say, hey, that's a lie. They took my money. Look how he responded to when Nick Saban was alleging that they paid Travis Hunter to come to Jackson State. Look how bold he was. Look how, how pumped up and amped up he was in the response, all on Twitter, denying it, all of that, so staunchly. If Jackson State stole money from him and they came out and said, no, we didn't steal money, we didn't do that, Deion would be the first person to call him a liar. He didn't do that because they didn't steal no money from him. Furthermore, if they treated Deion so bad and they treated him so trash and treated him like he wasn't nothing, why would anybody recommend their friend for a job at Jackson State if you were treated so poorly? If that HBCU treated you so bad and cheated you out of money, why would you then recommend your friend, someone you care about, someone you love, someone you just really, really admire and respect and have the utmost reverence for? Why would you tell them to go to that job? If a job steal money from me, if the job ain't paying me on time, if my check is coming up short, if, they treat me all wrong, if the boss is an a-hole, an asshole, if the boss is just disrespectful, if the employees are just really obnoxious, if the managers are obnoxious, I'm not recommending my brother to go there. I'm not recommending my close friend to go there. I'm not recommending my cousin's sister best friend to go there. All right? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it, man. So he said he recommended Ed Reed for the job. Deion Sanders did. He wouldn't do that if Jackson State did him so dirty. So we gotta stop this whole thing. Jackson State, they were stealing money. Let's talk about how they were treating Deion. Nobody was treating Deion bad at JSU. Nobody was. So cut it out. And then they be like, well, he left the HBCU because look how the other coaches was treating him. Look how, bro, he got into one situation with another coach, Eddie Robinson, and coach at Alabama State. One coach, dog. Knock it off. Look at all that. Now, the funny thing about it is, now that he's coaching at Colorado, all y'all talking about how all the other coaches are hating on Deion. So to say that he was getting treated and he was getting bad looks, he getting negative looks and a negative eye from other head coaches in the SWAC, no, he wasn't. And as a matter of fact, I know he wasn't because he was really cordial with the other ones. And he had brought Mississippi Valley State University's head coach, Vincent Dancy from my university, to Colorado with him. So, yeah, talking about, he was getting done dirty. He was treating them, they didn't want him there. They were basically shunning him. Man, he got into it with one coach. Now y'all talking about all the other coaches hating on him. So just imagine all the other coaches in the Pac-12 and all that and other coaches he coaching against. Now all them hating on him. So which one was worse? If you feel like that, I don't feel like the coaches in the Pac-12 are hating on Deion at all. At all. They just got competitive juices flowing. They're like, yo, he think he the best coach. He think he got the best team. They want to beat him. Especially because they getting all the press. If they beat Colorado, hey man, we showed that we the real dogs. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, man, yeah, I had to dispel that rumor that just the HBCU ranks was just treating them so horrible and Jackson State was just so bad it was stealing all his money. Bro, if somebody steal money from you, you gonna recommend your brother for the job? Hell no. I don't give a fuck how much they want to be a head coach. And Ed Reed, only reason he didn't go to JSU is because Bethune-Cookman called him first. And he said that BCU called him first. That's why he took the job. Not because, I found out they was doing Deion dirty. It wasn't none of that shit. None of it. Bethune-Cookman called him first and he said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to elevate this school. I'm going to elevate this school in a way that Jackson State has been elevated to national prominence, to national airwaves or national, what's the word I'm looking for? They're getting national acclaim and buzz. He wanted to do the same thing for BCU because BCU, and then BCU reached out to him first. You know what I mean? But we all talked about how Ed did not handle that professionally, cussing out the staff and all that, cussing everybody. You can't do that. You can't do that. I don't care who you are. You cannot do that and think they're going to hire you in no type of establishment, no type of business. Can you go in there and shit on everything there and think they're going to be like, okay, cool, we have you up in here. This is not how it works. Okay? But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to dispel that rumor because everybody act like, Jackson State and them was doing Deion so bad. All the primates. You know what I'm talking about. Deion Sanders fans is the primates that just think that every time you say anything, it's just like, it's hate against him. If you say the team didn't perform well, you hating. If you say, number 2, Shador carrying it in a way that's a little too much at times, you hating on the young boy. Let the young boy have his riz and shit, all that silly ass shit they wouldn't even let their own kids do. Everybody was condoning shit Shador was doing. At times, he's an excellent quarterback. Poking other players in the eyes, flashing the watch when Stan Verrett talking to him, a black man that's been working at ESPN and accomplished so much within that company. Flashing the watch and showing his grill. I'm like, he got to cut that out. Shiloh telling dudes he'd beat the fuck out of them and they coach before the game. Telling Oregon players he'd beat the fuck out of all of them and they coach. Everybody will, listen, man, that's just football, man. He's just competitive. No, and like I told y'all before, when you saying you'll beat the fuck out of somebody, that's only acceptable in combat sports. Saying I beat the fuck out of all y'all, that's cool if you boxing, if you in MMA. That's cool. It's football. Saying you'll beat the fuck, no, that's a threat. And that was too much. When I criticize that, I'm hating on Deion and his kids and all that. Yeah, the Primates was hollering and screaming about JSU doing Deion so dirty. Well, if Coach Prime got done so dirty, why is he recommending that job to other people that he called his dear sweet brother? Let me use my Golden Child reference. Yeah, his dear sweet brother Ed Reed. Why is he recommending a job to Ed? For real, man. Why would he do that if they just stealing money from him all willy-nilly? If they just stealing shit and just shooting it up bang bang and they breaking into all this shit all the time and they just treating him so bad and stealing all his money and attendance, why would he recommend Ed Reed to go there and get stolen from too? Because it didn't happen. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.